Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Encore une fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il a quoi qui j'ai vu prince. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé. T'as mon bien de moi avec moi nous. En ce moment, on va battre au moins néo. On t'a dit à ta moumoune, on s'est battu pour moi dit quoi. Abela lo kan yo. Ka go so duro. Hey. Awaye. Ati oro a. Yao. Abela lo kan yo. Níbi tó jọba yìí. Níbi tó yọba. Ma ti si mo kan yo. Manga Gigi. Ouais, que jamais forcé. Si tu connais. L'animateur Choco, Noska, Yassin, de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniché les deux.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Libra Public Radio. Wonderful to have you again. We say thank you for joining us this evening. We really appreciate you joining us. Please share this video, share it to as many people as possible. Again, Samson to Libra Public Radio. I think my mic is too high here this evening, so let me bring it down a little bit. Okay. Thank you for sharing your time with us. We say thank you very much. Please share this video to as many people as possible, because we want our brothers and sisters to join us to have a conversation. Thank you. Please share it to as many brothers and sisters as possible. Safety, Lord Jesus. Oh, yes. We call on you when things are difficult. We call on you when things are hard. And this is one of those about our country, the Republic of Liberia. My dear Jesus, please, my Lord, we ask you again to supersede, intercede, whatever seed you want to do for us. Please come in. Help us. There's so many things going on in our country, my Lord. The only thing we can do is come to you again and pray to you, because we believe in you. We know you have the power. What is happening in our country, my Lord, please guide us. Help us. This is something that we're thinking that perhaps is not in the interest of our people. My Lord, help us. Guide us. Yes. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you for everything. Oh, without you, we don't exist. Because of you, we are here. Help us. Guide us. Bless us. Because of your blessing, we're here. My Lord, we know you have the power. Whatever it is that is happening in Liberia, please, we put Liberia and the Liberian people in your hand again tonight. Those of you that are listening to me and you believe in the word of prayer, please, let's pray for our country. Only prayer can help us. Prayer can help us. Those of us that believe in prayer, let's continue to pray. My Lord Jesus, we ask you again tonight. We put the people of Liberia and the Republic of Liberia in your hands. You know where we're coming from. Because of you, we're here. You redeemed us. We were going through holes, hell holes, and you brought us by as a country. We ask you again, my Lord, help us. Help us. Yes. We are not ashamed of you. We will never be ashamed of you. We will continue to ask you for blessing. Thank you for your blessing. Thank you for the opportunities you give us. Thank you for everything that you do for us and continue to do for us. We ask for more blessing. We ask for the blanket of love from you, my Lord. Only you can provide that. And because we know that, we are not ashamed to say, help us. My Lord Jesus, we ask you again tonight. We put this president of the Republic of Liberia in your hand because we believe in you. Whatever the president touches, my Lord, that open the door. Guide him. Guide him. Guide him. Guide him. Give him long life. Guide him. Because all we can do is put him in your hands. Give him wisdom. Give him wisdom. Give him wisdom. We cannot fight over him with other people. And since we're not able to reach them, we will just pray to you so you will help us. My Lord Jesus, we ask again that the host country, the United States of America, be blessed as well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Folks, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. It's been a very, very hectic weekend in Liberia. Those of us, and I know all of us that are watching, and we still have family back home. All that I can say to you tonight before I start with my tabata is that those of you that truly, truly believe in the word of prayer, please, whenever you go to bed, whenever you go walking around, pray for the Republic of Liberia. What is happening in our country, what we're hearing, these are times for us, the children of God, those of us that believe strongly in prayer, to continue to pray. No amount of money can change these kinds of behavior. Pray for them. We'll pray for our country. So again, folks, according to a story, Guinea and Liberia, almost, and it's not quite over yet. Almost, and it's not quite over yet. Almost went to war, but it's not quite over yet. Okay. This is some stuff that are happening in that country under the leadership of President Bakai. I don't know what to say tonight, and I'm not here to confess, and I'm not here to apologize, but I'm going to say this: Liberian should be worried. Yes, because for what we're hearing and what we're reading about, these are things that I didn't expect. However, President Bakai is a human being like any other person. He does not have to satisfy my expectation. No. So President of the Republic of Liberia, he was duly elected. And so since I also have the ability to understand that my expectation will not and must not and should not be satisfied at all times by this president, I also have the obligation. I also have the constitutional right to disagree when I see it. I also have the right that I'm not going to be a praise singer if I see it. I would dance, I would praise sing if I see something's right. So tonight, It's one of the night. I'm gonna go ahead and open. I want you, those of you that have the opportunity, what is happening in Liberia? Let me first start with the Unity Party. Unity Party, as you know, all of you know, quite recently have their they have some sort of a leadership meeting or what have you. And you will expect that at the meeting, some decision to defend the Constitution would have been brought up. So whatever happened after the meeting, whatever decision the Unity Party is taking, I would say comes derived from that meeting. Okay. The issue. Let me first of all talk about the constitutional issue. Then I will go on to the national security issue. According to a story, that Guineans brought a plane in Liberia filled with commandos, people with guns, allowed Guineans with guns were allowed to land in Liberia, according to the story, and were able to amount us pluck Guinean / Liberian citizen to take him back to Guinea. Guinea, remember, is being ruled by military agenda. So they are not a democracy. Folks, if you're listening, I will come back to that. But let me go back to the issue with the Unity Party. They have their meeting quite recently. The chairman / member of the Liberian government, the secretary / member of the Liberian government, they had a meeting in a hotel. Apparently, they said their party headquarters is no longer suitable for their status. I say so. But instead of delivering, you see, the thing I like about these people, the same thing I used to say about President We are his people. It's the same thing here. Many of the folks that were serving President We are administration were young people. And if you don't do things right and you get defeated, you would one or two things you would do. Either run away and come back to the United States, what many of them have done, or go to Europe. Many of them have done that. But at the same time, you don't have much to say because you will sit there. Why the other people that won the election will come and dismantle all of your hard work and nothing you can say. You will sit there and people come and say you did wrong, you did X, Y, and Z, and you can't say much. The best thing you can do is to run away, go back to Europe, or go back to the United States. And this is the same thing that I'm saying here again about Unity Party. Many of them that are serving are young. You can steal as much as you want. When the election finishes and your party is being defeated, you will run away. And even if you stay in Monrovia, you will have no face because people will be berailing you and degrading whatever work that you have done. You see, if you were 70, 80 years old, you say, I don't care. You go in the village and sit down. But you're young. You see, that's just a thing about you don't understand. Ah, yes. This is completely unbelievable. You don't understand these things, folks. You don't understand it. Let me try and send this thing to my to Jared tonight. Hopefully he will be joining me. What you guys don't understand is this. Young Liberian, those of you that are serving in this Unity Party government, okay? There's two things that is happening with you right now. My opinion only. My opinion. You don't fit in a country anymore. You don't fit in a countryside anymore. And when the people defeat your government, you don't fit in Monrovia either. So what you'll be here now, you can't come to the United States, many of you. But you see, you're bound to look what happened with Samuel Tour right now. Even your own money, you can't even enjoy it. Many of you that used to be in CDC, your own money, you can't enjoy it. You can't sit down and eat and enjoy it. You got your hair up, you got eyes all over you. This is why when you're serving, you need to do things right. So that if you get defeated or when you get out of power, you will have the face to walk the street of Monrovia. But many of you are unable to walk the street of Monrovia and put your head up. You can't do it. I dare you. I dare you because of the kind of behavior you guys did. It's the same thing here with the Unity Party, my friend. The Unity Party, and the thing about it is that you're young. As I said, they're young. And so when you're young like this, you have to do things. Let me see. Let me see, Mr. Back. Okay, yeah, yes. Okay. So because they're young and they are unable to do the right thing, give me a moment, folks. Samson told Labropa, I'm here again tonight. I'm not taking prisoner. Okay. So they come out. Okay. Just give me a minute. Just give me a moment, please. I'm trying to send the link to my esteemed core host here tonight. Okay. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Samson told Labra Pabrito. The Tabata is going to be on good displays here again tonight. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Okay. So Jerry, check your text. Okay. So let's get back. So the folks that are working in this Unity Party-led government, with all of these misstep and mishap, you think when the time comes tomorrow for proper discussion, they're gonna say, "Oh, you're not there. You are part of the system." Unity Party just have their leadership conference, whatever they call it, and then they're stepping all over the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Let me go on. So, quite recently, according to a story, and I'll read it to you here. Okay, I'll read it to you here. Let's go. Give me a minute. Okay. The House Slim President Bakar. Okay, let me read that one. Okay, this is just breaking news. The leadership of just give me a minute here. Oh, why am I not able to? Okay. According to the story, the leadership of the House of Representatives has expressed disappointment over President Newman Bakai's decision to submit a 2025 draft national budget to the House of Representatives presiding officer, bypassing the traditional protocol of the address of addressing it directly to the speaker. Okay. So this is it. I'm not even going to go into it. In a strong warning statement issued Monday, the House leadership emphasized that the move undermined the authority of his office and constitutional framework government the government has represented. Okay, so here's the thing here. So according to the story, according to the stuff that I just, President Bakai submitted his draft budget to the majority bloc. When you have a sitting. Let me bring in Jerry. Jerry, thank you for joining us. Let me bring you in here quickly. Thank you, Jerry. Submitted a draft budget to the majority bloc. When you have the Speaker of the House of Representatives of the Republic of Liberia alive in section, and you're going to go. So are you not also enabling those people that we believe are breaking the Constitution? And I can say this here to you. Yes, it's President Barker, but I'm sure when they had a meeting, he most likely have a discussion with the majority of the cabinet ministers. And perhaps the lawyer among them could not even agree that by doing so you will be violating the Constitution. And so they decided to do that. We're going to frown on that, to be honest with you, because this is not how you build an institution. Franti Kofa, none of us are here to support him and say we're supporting him because he's the best man for that job. We're past that stage already. The issue now is how do you prevent this type of behavior from happening in the future? You have people who said they don't want to sit on the gavel of President of Speaker Kofa. Fine, they want him out, but the Constitution does provide avenue how to remove a speaker. But you don't want to abide by that. You want to use political pressure to dislodge the speaker from that position. And by the president and the executive now taking side, if they have to be very careful, because you cannot now claim neutrality. You have taken side. You're no longer neutral in this conversation. Here is the man, Franti Kofa, who's been blamed by the House sedition that he works too closely to the president. He has worked and helped the Unity Party. And sedition members are saying we have election coming up. And somebody who is a CDC member cannot carry out the duty of CDC by making sure the president fails, then there's no reason to have him. And Franti Kofa is saying Liberia is bigger than CDC. I will oppose when the time is right. But if something is happening in the interest of the Liberian people, I shouldn't and I will not oppose. And the president and the executive sidestep Franti Kofa. Now, tell me, do you think what constitutional right that budget has now to be worked on? Franti Kofa will take the people to court and he's going to win. The thing that you're trying to avoid, which is the thing you're trying to avoid, which is having the budget being delayed. When Franti Kofa go to court, the budget will be delayed because the constitution, the judiciary, the Supreme Court, most likely will put stay on that budgeting process. You can't go further than that. So what you think you are afraid of, most likely will happen. So this is something that will frown on. Let me bring in Jerry. Jerry, thank you for joining me. Thank you very much for joining us. Are you there, Jerry?
No, I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. All right. So while Jerry is there trying to...
No, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. What's on your plate, sir?
Well, first of all, I said thank you for having me here. Thank for our listeners, those who go follow us. To Sister Clark and Mount Fatima. I mean, these are our staff on the show. They always listen to us. So I said thank you all. But here's the good news I want to bring to our listening audience, personally from my end. I wrote an article called The Field of Crime in Liberia / Africa, and I was awarded, I think I put in the chat room, that I was supposed to be going to Ghana to discuss the issue of criminality, criminal justice system in Africa. So I'll be one of the platform guests to be on that. So I'll be going to Ghana in December, the 8th part of December. So I just want to let our people know.
Congratulations in advance. We hope while you're going, that the CEO will try to fix your LPR badge with your picture and the LPR emblem on it, so you can be able to wear it freely at the conference.
So it's called African Criminal Justice Alliance. So I mean, you can Google it. One of the panelists, I've been selected as one of the panelists. I think I put it in the chat room so everybody can see it. And I'm delighted, especially a child from We and Doru, where the tribe said, not even knowing Liberia, nobody know what the we people are. For me to be on the platform. But yesterday, thank you so much. I just want to make that little introduction. I'm excited. So we'll come on the show here. We got some. But here's the interesting part. I saw your intro. I listened to your intro. Well, the president is playing politics, which of course they are all politicians. He said the officer, the presiding officer. So when you say the presiding officer, technically, is the Speaker of the House. If you say officer, presiding officer. So when you're addressing the speaker, the speaker is a presiding officer. But then it began complicated. Here, why it began complicated. The executive branch, the managing director for the Liberian Water and Sewer went to the majority block to testify based upon when they are written then to go and testify. Knowing fully well, we have split, divided House of Representatives. And so even if at all, let me agree with your theory, which of course has some reservation on it. But if the member of the executive is going before the majority block for testimony, then it shows some impartiality. So, but I listened to the speaker today. He said he's not going nowhere. He's not going to resign. And he listed 16 today. These 16, he said, yeah, he's willing to do it. But let the majority block, the so-called majority, voting him. Let him come to the in the chamber. Then, when they come on the floor, he will do it. So now, two things going to happen here now. The pressure now, the president has sent a bill, not the bill, $800 and some more million to the officer, presiding officer, which way you want to intend it. So there'll be pressure on the speaker now to see where he stands. At the same time, the pressure going to be on the president as well by saying he sent the bill to the budget. I mean, that's a bill as well. He sent a budget to the presiding, not the presiding, the majority, based upon the interpretation. Then the pressure going to be on both parties. So at that point, and the pressure also going to be on the speaker too as well. Well, the president already sent a budget to the majority bloc, so definitely you have to resign. So the pressure will be on the speaker.
Yeah, but Jerry, let's you and I go disagreement here. Let's take it further on that. Before whoever's going to be joining us, you and I let's have a round on this here. The speaker doesn't have to resign though. The speaker most likely can sue, can go back to the Supreme Court, and now it has become. It's no longer to say the majority bloc are carrying on a process that I don't like or that is undermining the ability of the House of Representatives to function. That was the first pray that speaker sent to the executive, I mean to the judiciary, and they said no, they're not going to get involved in that. They deny. In this time, another branch of government have injected themselves into the process. So now, Flantikova most likely before the week is over, most likely will go to court and say, tell us, Supreme Court, you guys are entitled, you guys are the one that interpret the rule. What the executive have done is it constitutional? And the court then will put stay on the budgeting process. Don't do anything to that budget until we come back to interpret as to whether the involvement of the executive in this conversation as to whether they have a legal standing to do what they did. When you had what's his name, Mo Ali and whatever it is going to the majority black, they were testing the water for President Buckeye to see if they were going to get huge blowback from the community, Liberian community, Liberians themselves. Okay, and they were not able to get that. They didn't get any kinds of blowback, and because they didn't have any blowback, President Buckeye and his people believe that they can go now to the majority black and submit the draft budget. However, if Frantikova go back to court and the court come back to say we're not going to get involved, then I can see then that I think it will be time for Frantikova to resign. And I would say Frantikova is not a slush. In the resignation process, if he's going to resign because of this, he would take this constitutional melee, he would take this constitutional snafu and lay it directly at the footstep of the executive. And that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be a layout. That in fact, he would say, I hope, that we saw in Unity Party, past Unity Party government, force 2 speakers out of office. And here comes another Unity Party government forcing me out. He will not say at this time, he won't even mention the majority black. He will say another branch of government have decided to weakening another branch of government by intruding into the process that we have, and therefore are no longer, as a Liberian and someone who loved this country, no longer want to stand and continue to fight when I think you have a branch of government that has no business in this and getting involved. And I think the resignation process will be yielded as somebody, as a hero, to be honest with you.
You see, one thing you have to understand, Mr. Toll, 2 things going on here. There are 2 groups now, like you allegedly said. The executive branch and the split branch, which is the what you call it, Tommy Fowler group. That's how I got it now. Tommy Fowler group. Now, if the president is side with the Tommy Fowler group and the executive, then there are 2 against the speaker. But anyway, here's the point you make, which is interesting about taking to court. Anybody can go to court. You can sue Sandwich. Even if someone say you can sue you can sue the Sandwich. But the question there, would you win? Because the president, they will send it right back to the House of Representatives again. Say, you know what? You're doing it out. This honor your rule. You are going. Your constitution.
Let me bring in Terry. Yeah, but Jerry, let me push back quickly.
Yeah.
Let me push back quickly before I bring in Terry here. Quite correct what you say. Anybody can sue. And if they sue, you're suggesting that Supreme Court most likely will say you'll go back. It is no longer the House of Representatives business alone. Another branch of government have intruded themselves, have intruded into the House of Representatives business.
Mm-hmm. And
now the question then will be, if Francisco run to the Supreme Court, you appeal to the Supreme Court. Tell me, is the executive have the constitutional right to do so?
Yes. Yeah, why? The president, listen to the letter. The person who wrote that letter, they wrote it keenly to the presiding officer. When you speak to the turn of presiding officer, who are you referring to?
Okay. So was it a mistake by whoever took the budget over there to take it to Thomas Fowler Group? Was it a mistake? Well, and if it is,
but you see, technically, the president will say, the executive will say, "Look, we'll send it our budget to the presiding officer." That's what it is.
Okay.
That's the president's prerogative.
And this is a good part. I agree with you. But Frantikova, being a very smart person, did not lay down.
Oh no,
he went public. He went public. Now, to spend almost 24 hours now. if the executive realize that perhaps, oops, the budget gone to the wrong person, they can record the budget and resend. Okay,
well,
reset.
in legal process, in legal process is step by step. We cannot just jump and say, "Oh, this is what it is." It's a legal process.
But that's what I'm saying. Francis Kofa going to go to court.
It's a legal process. So now he sent it to the presiding officer. The presiding officer and say, "Oh well, I'm the presiding officer, but I did not receive it." That's a different game. Now we're going to another step.
Okay.
But yes, I know the two gentlemen just came in. But yes, it's called pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It's called pressure. Okay. Now the president, like you said, I'm gonna have some disagreement, but it's a pressure. The pressure now going to be on the speaker that the president already sent a budget to the presiding officer. Now the pressure is going to be on the speaker now to say, look, my man, the president already taking side, and on the other side, it could backfire on the president too.
Exactly.
I mean, on another side,
I agree with you.
On another side,
it's going to
backfire on the president. It could backfire on the president.
Thank you. Let me bring in Terry. Mr. So, thank you for joining us. Let's go to Terry. Terry, good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's on your plate, sir?
Well, just the same thing you guys are talking, which is the hottest news in town. And however, good afternoon or good evening to the panel, to Liberal, and to CEO, and to Mr. Bacon, the independent voices, and all of that. Yeah, so
who the independent voice?
Who the independent voice? I see the independent voice of the people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I gotta recognize.
Mr. So, you are intruding into the affair with the host. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, so Liberal, we were betting the other time, and I told you the budget was going to land in the hands of the majority black, and that have been checkmate. And I'm listening to you guys chewing on this thing here, and I can let you know where it's going. And I know you're a political guru, you know exactly where it's going. But you're not going to say it. You're still trying to pamper your man. But the man finished. It's just a matter of time. The president did a very skillful job to send the budget to the majority black. And this thing is going to, whether you like it or not, the court is not going to rule in the favor of Fonati. I'm giving you another breaking again. You will say, oh, it's not going to happen there. The court is not going to rule in favor of Fonati Kofa if you even take this matter before them. And I think he's the best option for him now, if I were him, is to resign. To save all the trouble that you just jumping up. Because let me tell you something, the budget is the most important tool in the country. These boys now is discussing 800 million. First, they were the sacrifices they made. They have now been strengthened by the executive. And the reason why the court gonna, in my opinion, again, I could be wrong. The reason why the court is not gonna flow with Fonati, because if the court rule in favor of Fonati Kofa, Fonati Kofa will feel that he have legal strength to pin down, to use public sentiment to rise up against the majority black, and thereby, if he succeed, it will stall the country budget, and the judiciary themselves will not get money. This is $800 million we're talking about. That what he bought and play with today. That what they're going to discuss tomorrow. If I were him, I would resign, because the president sent the budget to the chief clerk, even though he should have made mention to the speaker, but he made mention to presiding officer. And the presiding officer, according to the law, should be the speaker, but a presiding officer can be anybody in the absence of the speaker. So who is the president addressing in the letter? Is the president really addressing the speaker? So this is the skepticism, that you cannot say the president was addressing the speaker, because where the budget is right now will determine who the president was addressing. And in my opinion, I would say the president was addressing the majority black. So if that be the case, even you go to court tomorrow, The president will say that where there is quorum, since the court did not move to prohibit, the majority black from operating, the majority black declare quorum and the majority black declare session, I could not have sent the budget to the speaker because the speaker did not have quorum. And the president will not be in error. And the president will tell you that he addressed the budget to the presiding officer. According to the law, a presiding officer can preside even in the absence of the speaker, and the budget can become a law.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your ridiculous statement here, but we'll take it. This is LPR. We don't agree with you, but let me go to Mr.
Tabata.
Yeah, the pure. This one, Samuel to Tabata tonight. Let me go on, Mr. So. Thank you for joining us. What's on your plate, sir?
The plate is filled.
Dish it out.
Today is another classical example of this old man, Joseph Boyka, his inability to govern.
Why would you call him old man anyway?
He's an old man.
Why can't you not just say president?
I say that's how I choose to describe him.
Okay,
this old man and what he has done today, they're going to come back to bite him. That terrorist self-interpretation he giving, he's dealing with a republic. His actions is deliberate. It's on purpose. I just started getting some information this evening. This whole thing there, people been saying it, but I've been talking to people. Jeremiah Cole, Emmanuel Nokwe, those are the people that are keeping these renegade political leaders. And I think what eventually going to happen, you're going to see a big popular uprising by the citizen. They're going to get upset because of Joseph Boyka Act, what he has done today. And
guys, we're not gonna
go ahead, Mr. So. Go ahead.
Don't interrupt me, please. He threw a bomb in the town and he acting like he going to Sierra Leone driving by road. Come on, we know what is going through. We saw another versions of leadership by Speaker Kofa. Kofa, that's the difference. The Snow and all of these people you are talking about, because they didn't know the law. And so they kind of like quickly, it reminds me of the day of Samuel Doe. This is why Alhaji Kroman said, and he was fired. And it brings me to the point that I will display it. Dictatorship will not work with democracy. Democracy is a very unique game where you allow people to speak their mind to say. And it's in relative to your friend Anthony Kessel. But if you think that's the end of Speaker Kofa, you're dead wrong. You're talking about in the absence. The speaker is in the country. Is he no longer speaker? He is speaker. Has he been impeached? He has not been impeached. So why would you say in the absence? You listen to the speaker. All of the points alternative they put through, he said, yes, I am willing to. But Joseph Boyka, with his influence of these Unity Party boys, and I can tell you what, the money Jeremiah Kuhn, Tomo Fala, Emmanuel Nokwe on that release, I want you to say, I don't just say it because I want to say it. No matter whether SCOFA goes or not, that report will come out. Then the Liberian people will get to know. The money that Jeremiah Kuhn, Tomo Fala, Emmanuel Nokwe, name measure in that report, those people stole good money in that, real money. I mean, real money. And that's the money, that's the financial violence they are applying. I'm telling you now, from people we talk to inside, they are the financials of these so-called renegade. You see the folks that are supporting Speaker Kofa, they're doing it for the sake of the country. No money, nothing. But it is these three people and many others are doing that. The action of the president was calculated. It was orchestrated. He knew exactly what he was doing. And I said here the other day, for the president to come out that acting like, what his name, Tomo Fala, his nephew, that he was going to consult his counsel. That's what the counsel told him. But guess what? Watch in the next coming few days, you're going to see what happened. This is a sad day for us in our country.
Thank you. Dr. Tutu, thank you for joining us. What's on your plate, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Lebra. That'd be great the federal panelists, and also our CEO, Alfonso.
No. You say final panel, you stop there. The only
No,
person who got
Major,
power
this is
right
a
now,
very serious conversation here this
the
evening.
only person who got power that Jerry.
You and
Jerry
Terry,
Maga,
you
he's
and
here as a
Terry,
the
you're
CEO
speaking
is
here
here
this
as a
evening.
visitor. He's
Okay.
not in control. So address say co-host, good evening. Yeah. Then that's it.
Okay, co-host.
Thank you.
But that get back to the issue.
Yeah.
I think we're all talking about the same thing tonight. When it comes to the state of affair in Liberia, very disappointing, the way the trend at which Liberia is heading to is not good for democracy. And we supported this government, the Unity Party government, not just by words, but also by through our resources. And the way things are trending, I'm a little bit baffled about developing the country when it comes to, especially I've been waiting to see for the budget submission, where the budget will land. And look at the historical context of budget submission to the House and for the process to proceed and the way we went to that, I'm a little bit disappointed. But if you go through legally, I think the president was carefully trying to not to get the slippery slope, and he followed the right procedure. But I will slow down for that to get into the conversation detail. But that's where I
We're
stand.
already in a conversation, but I would say that the president, what he has done, and then I'll go back to Jerry here. What the president has done, he has taken side. Believe me, before the week is over, Flantikova will run back to the court. If the court, Terry say the court will perhaps deny because they want to get paid. True story. I agree. But there are people within the court system themselves who also believe in democracy, who is not putting money above their judiciary experience. So those people will be out there, even within the Supreme Court itself, because the international community is also looking at us. You just had ECOWAS that came to settle, they didn't do it. They're going back. They also are looking back on this thing. And President Baka, to say that I'm sending the budget to the presiding officer, and the presiding officer, why does it end up with the majority black now? You are not stranger to this debacle that is happening. And I strongly believe that the court this time will step in. Perhaps the reason why they didn't step in before, because the issue was just within another branch. And the court is saying, no, you guys try to deal with it. They're seeing one branch. But now that you have an executive who have intruded himself into the into the lawmakers' activities, the court will now, Flantikova will ask the court to interpret the process of the of the executive getting into this. Is it constitutional? And I think the court most likely, the first thing they will do is to put a hole on the budgeting process. To say put hold on there until we find out what's happening. And the part that President Baka most likely would say, I said it because the budget, I don't want to hold on to the Liberian people money, I want to pay people. Now, because of your action, the court is not going to let you run over them either. They will step in. And most likely, I could be wrong, but most likely the court will come in and put a stay on this budgeting process. Not because of what the majority black is doing is illegal. The court finished with that thing ever since. The court said we're not going to be participating into whether the people doing something is legal or not legal. Because they don't have the quorum to remove Flantikova. And as long as Flantikova is seen that, the court can't even say anything on it. Okay? But now you have another branch a step in, and the court then will come in most likely to try to interpret the Constitution, the effect of the executive branch action as to whether it's constitutional or not. But let me go back to Jerry. Jerry, You heard the rest of the final panelists have made some real comment here. Some are against, some are not. What additional comment you going to make on this, yes, sir?
Yeah, I mean, that I told myself saying the same thing here. Look, the president is playing, he playing a smart game. He's a very smart man. He's a seasoned politician. You might not like it, but that's what politics is all about. And you put pressure on people, then they will flip. It's like they charge 4 people or 5 people, and look, we'll put pressure on you. Okay, fine. When you see as a state witness, and if you do this, that's what he's doing. So what he's doing right now is put pressure on the speaker and say, hey, I send it to the presiding officer. So even if the president asks him tomorrow, he will say, I send it to the presiding officer. That's what he's going to do. But look, I watched a speaker today. He did one brilliant thing. Both of them put on one another pressure right now. That today in the chamber that he released that he's going to give bosses to this how you call it, the capital staff, and he getting some vehicles that will be delivered either today or tomorrow. I mean, anyway, tomorrow already in Liberia. So these are the pressures. It's coming from both sides now. Bear in mind, they're coming from the office staff. At the same time, the president putting pressure on the speaker and also the citizen of the country. Okay, so now you're putting pressure on the citizen, the citizen of the nation, and say, listen, I sent a budget to the presiding officer, and he have not done or she have not done anything. So let's wait and see, because definitely it's going to come up. But even if they go to the court, in conclusion of the court will more likely send it right back to there, say, look, your duty out, and you have to come up with a resolution. The third thing I want to say here, Echo Joaquin. Everybody agreed. The both party agreed with its 5 or 6 stipulation. And for some reason, the majority black withdrew. So, and politics is pressure. It's peer pressure to see who going to put the pressure on, or what are going to be from the executive to be whether he will get a momentum to put pressure on the speaker or Thomas Fowler group or the president group. So that 3 groups that we are dealing with right now, from the executive and the Fowler group and the Thomas group. So that 3 groups we are dealing with right now.
Thank you, Terry. Let me bring you back in. You want to expand on your reasoning earlier, or you want to pick up something else?
Yeah, actually, I think my concern is going to be driven to the shifting that's going to happen tomorrow. I would not be surprised to see there are some lawmakers that are going to go to the majority black. I'm not going to be surprised with that, because the budget is 800 million. The camp of Speaker Kofa now will begin to depreciate. Why? Because the most workable tool is in the hands of the majority black. So we will begin to see shifting. All those people talking that, oh, Honorable Fonati get 30%. There are lawmakers that need to go there to discuss the budget so that they can get their own cut. And once Honorable Fonati Kofa do not have the ability to preside over the budget, his strength is limited, he is weak, and his colleagues will see him to be very weak, and they will not want to continue to hold on with him. Only few people, I believe, will hold on with him. But something drew my attention to the LBS boss also. There are so many reports on him and alarming information that I thought was important to look at. I saw something like really shocked me that he's not presenting the reputable programs that will be able to run the institution, and his demeanor is authoritative. He behaves like he's he threatens people and all of that. And I thought that was very scary when I read that particular resolution by the LBS employees. I thought that was something to look at. But I beg to go and come back. I got to go pick up my daughter. I will come back and join you guys.
Thank you. You see that one thing I love about you. You finish throwing the heavy bomb. Yeah, you come and go now.
No, I'm coming back. I'm
Okay.
coming back.
All
Be
right.
following. Just wait in
Okay.
10 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Terry. Thank you. We'll be watching and seeing you. Mr. So, carry on, please.
I don't know, Terry. I wish he was here. Budget. What made you think the other group can disrupt section? Of course, they are lawmaker. And Joseph Boyka does not have, he can't call for their arrest. I mean, he has just invited chaos in the country. And you guys sit here, he talking about
No,
air
but
business.
Mr.
This
So,
is the
let me
thing,
let me
man.
let me let me give me
I'm
some
coming.
clarity.
No,
No, give me some clarity. You
interrupt
made
me.
a
It is
statement.
my
Give me some
time.
clarity. Give me some clarity. When
Yeah,
you
let me
said
finish. When your
disrupt,
time comes, do
what do
not.
you mean by disrupt?
What?
You said the other people can disrupt this section. What
They can
exactly are you
also,
talking?
whatever argument they go there, they can also go there and put it to a heart because it's illegal.
So you're suggesting that these group from Flotti camp can now go to underneath flat
Thomas.
Tomofala camp
It's not
and
underneath
sit
Thomas
under his
Father.
gavel and
It's
disrupt? Is
not
that what you
underneath Thomas Father. They are going in section, and these renegades people, they are conducting illegal business. So they are going there to stop them, and they have the right to stop them because in as much until Speaker Kofa is removed, impeached, or whatever, as long he's in the country, as long he remains speaker, the law says, where his name said, Crook Tomofala cannot preside over it. So what Joseph Boyka and the United Party, which they are noted of removing speakers, they are just trying to push their way through. And you here, you're supposed to speaker. You try to salad dress A here because you don't want to make sound of feedback. Look, what this guy is doing, this old man is doing, is inviting chaos in this country. And don't be surprised if it does happen because sooner or later, and they say they are majority, people in various counties, they will start also signing petition to remove the irresponsible people that is sent by mistake. And they sit down there, Tomofala, Jeremiah Kuhn, and Emmanuel Nokwe, who are seriously indicted into this damaging report. This Kofa man is trying to clean up the mess. And this is the bottom line in this whole thing. That's what they don't want because they do not want this guy. The audit, they do not want it because they know exactly what they have done. This is why your friend Anthony Kessely posted. Great move, Nyempro. You now have a movement to be what you crave, whistleblower. You might now be properly placed. I pray you go on to enjoy your heart's desire. This, Dr. Toto, these were the people who were advocating yesterday for good governance, for God's sake. And you have a minister, a patriot, someone, a patriot. What they have done, I think he's might be out of the country now. I gave a good word for asylum. And so I said here, that was the same thing when Alhaji Kroman tried to speak up the truth those days that the dictatorship doesn't work with democracy. Samuel Doe got vexed and dismissing. And we saw what happened down the road. Joseph Boyka is unable to, his action today is a clear manifestation. He's not in charge. He's just a ceremonial president. Other people are running and turning this wheel. It is dangerous. This old man have no clue what he's doing, and other people are running and conducting the affairs of that country.
We're on it again tonight. Tabata at all levels, even from the CEO. How you will come out here and say that, man, I'm not going to dignify. Dr. Tutu, let me come to you. Perhaps you can help me to push back if you want. If not, we can just let him because he's CEO. Let him say whatever you want to say. They CEO. We all don't want to get fired. So let's just assume and let's accept. They Tabata stink. Go ahead, Doctor.
Yeah. Happy listening to everybody. I would say President Bogada in charge. The president is in charge. He knows what is going on in the government of Liberia. Even though we may have a disagreement with him, we wish the whole budget something have been going on, or they still made that within the house. And Terry pointed out something I wanted to also throw back on it. I don't think when it comes to the issue going the house of the budget, it shouldn't be about people pay, about people want to get kickback whatsoever. we should be talking about the law, whether it is done in the right procedure. So the judicial or the judiciary should not come out to say, oh, utility also too can affect our pay. It's part of it also too. And how could they get our body? They shouldn't look at this at that context. And I would love, and I'll be happy to hear that Fudati Kofa come back to the court and let the court interpret that clause in the Constitution when it comes to their rules and regulation in terms of submission of the budget and who should preside and who should execute the budget. And also to let also recall that the chairman or the house committee or waste fathers or SIPO and other people that are part of the Fudati Kofa black also too. So who in the majority black is going to preside over the budget. And from my source of information that I got was that the host or the set of the function on the committee level, where the committee carry their room, do all their revision, do everything, the inner work of the committee work, and they bring it out to the plenary for full discussion. They put their blessing behind. They say, we have done everything. And this is, we present it to you to approve it and get our blessing. Will that be done? If the majority black go to appoint new committee chair or new people to review that budget, to make a decision on it, and if the budget is approved through the House, whose signature is going to require for the budget to be submitted to the upper house, the Senate? And if the Senate does their work also too, they send it back to the executive. Whose signature going to accommodate? They say, okay, the executive or the legislature have done their work with the budget. This is the executive. Who's going to sign it? Is it the pro-tem, or the speaker going to sign it? Because the both signatures are supposed to be on it. So there's a critical moment in our country. And I think the only way forward for this to be resolved, the Supreme Court should step into the case here and try to interpret the Constitution and the law. At first, when they went to the court, it was an issue of sitting. The court declined to come or they sent it back to the say you go decide it. But now this issue has reached, I don't think it's about sitting there. It's about a serious issue kind of the budgeting where the whole country is going to be shut down. So I'll be happy to hear that the speaker going back to the court. And let's see the Supreme Court take a role in the case here.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's wonderful discussion. Again, folks, if you're listening, Samson to Labrador Public Radio, sitting here with me, Mr. Soul, the CEO of LPR, Mr. Jerry Bagan, the LPR's senior security analyst, Dr. Toto, who is also LPR senior analyst here as well. I'm Samson to, the host and the chief of everything. And the people love me. Y'all love me. Y'all thank you for your love. But let me say this here. Look, before we move on to another subject matter here, guys, I think Dr. Toto, you're quite correct. I believe, and I don't know that because ever since this thing started, I cut away from Flanti Kofa. I refuse to communicate with him. I will not communicate with him until this thing is over because I don't want to. Not that I have any influence on you anyway, but I just want to stay out of this completely. I will speak here through this medium, and if you happen to be watching, if you happen to be out there watching this, that's fine. But for me to communicate, I won't do that. Now, what President Baka has done here, if the executive is not careful, and as correctly as Mr. So stated, this thing will come back to hurt them. But then again, we're talking about Liberia, but there's no consequence. People behave the way they want to behave, and no consequence. The funny thing is, Unity Party just had their leadership, whatever they have here, 2 or 3 days ago, and I will come out now and assume that they not only did they have President Baka in the bubble, but they pour him out of the bubble and give him some more food and say, "Now get back in the bubble. We'll decide what we want to do." This is exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened. You have people in the Unity Party that continue to thumb their nose and whatever against a code of conduct. But yet these people are saying that they know what is best for the country. And President Baka going now, submitting the budget. And one of the things that I like about Flantikova, he wasn't quiet. What he has done by going public to now put the executive on notice that whatever budget you send here, you say you send it to the presiding officer. I am the presiding officer. I don't have the budget. I don't have the budget. So you better take your budget back and bring it to me. And that has not been done. That was a very smart move by Flantikova, by the way. So now Flantikova, I believe, if he goes to the court will come running to this thing here. And this is the serious part of it. Even though we make fun of it, but I believe this is the serious part of it. The court, the executive, they're trying to say we're doing this thing because we don't want the budget to be delayed, thereby delaying people pay and what have you. But what they have done here, they obviously, and now they are inviting delay because the Supreme Court, when the Supreme Court comes in, they're not going to have the matter resolved right away. And they will not allow these people to continue the budgeting process while they're there looking. So most likely they will come in and say, okay, suspend all activities on the budget until we find out what's happening. And the reason I keep saying this is that now the executive has stepped in as another branch of government. And Flantikova going to ask the Supreme Court to say, these people stepping in our stuff. Is it constitutional? Let me go back, guys. Give us one more round of this, and then we can go on to the issue of having Guineans national coming on a plane, military gear, with guns on the soil of Liberia. And this is what I read today, and I we need a little bit, if we have any information that's from, but just let's discuss that from the perspective of the how do you call it, front page Africa discussion. And if it is not, we're just speculating here, that's fine. But let me come back to Jerry. Close this Flantikova stuff here. Let's close it up, and then we can move on to the another subject matter. Go ahead, Jerry. Let's hear from you.
The Supreme Court will not say the executive had intruded into the first branch of government. All the Supreme Court would do is, look, what is this a violation? There's something called tort or manrea in law. It's called manrea. It's the intent to deprive you of your anything. So you give a second, do anything here is the intent. It's called manrea. If the president do it to deprive the other branch, no. If the president do it to do it, no. So like you say, the Supreme Court, if Mr. Kova decided to go to the Supreme Court, yeah, the Supreme Court will send it right back to them again and say, look, this is what happened. Except whereby there's a crash, where there's a violation of the Constitution, then the Supreme Court will get it, because that's the time the Supreme Court coming.
But Jerry, don't you see a clear violation of the Constitution here?
No, he have not done anything. He sent it to the presiding officer. He sent it to the presiding officer.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, let me. He sent it to the presiding officer. So that's what it is. Let me make it clear. So whoever the presiding officer. But you know what?
Tell us who.
Hold on. That's not how we do it here, please.
Co-host. He put in his place. Intellectual co-host. You got it, my brother. Go ahead. You tell him. I like that.
For him to come here. For him to come here. Probably, Mr. So maybe you have forgotten. But the genesis of this thing, where it derives from, is because Mr. Kofa was involved in receiving money. That's the whole genesis of the thing. People say he was a lawyer for an entity. He received $7 million. So you come here. He's not a saint. He's not a somebody. He also, these are the men who is the origin of the whole thing. So he come here and say, oh, Mr. Bwaka did. No. Hell no. He is one of the situation here. So let's get it clear. So don't come here and say, oh, Mr. Baka did, Mr. Baka that. This was one of those. That's why the people decided the other 42 say, you know what, he here is involved in allegedly receiving money or allegedly getting money or representing other entity or politics or in different LPRC or LPMC as a lawyer. That's where the thing came from. That's the genesis of it. So don't forget about it. But anyway, since we're going to go on some different topics, something that caught my eyes, I want to bring it back. We forgot about it. The school collateral. Now a meal is on me, which it was important last week. I don't know what the situation is now rather in Liberia, but it's a scary thing that people will come in the need of an investor to explore the Liberian people because our not doing a due diligence to investigate these people and come in our country and say, well, we need collateral. The average person in Liberia not even making $4,000 a year, $150 a month. Where would they get 20,000 or 30,000 as a collateral before you can come to the university to come study? I think we'll address it later.
Thank you. Mr. So.
Sherry Bacon, shame on you. Shame on you. You're struggling here tonight, trying to put voice together to suit to suit something here. Education, you don't know who brought out of this game. It's the same Joseph Boyka who is making these chaotic political decisions. He and his Sarah Beslow, the Minister of Education, they brought it because he's like a Christmas tree. It's the same thing we're talking about George. We are everywhere they carry him. They put him to the podium. He knew it. They breathed in. He was aware. He made a public announcement for you to come here and you don't know who brought it. Should I tell you one more? It's the same man who is creating this chaos, who took the speaker from the country, the speaker in his good faith to travel with the president, who is now obstructed to this government, and for Joseph Boyka and his ally to have politically orchestrated this sort of, it's like you play a coup within your own government. That's what this president has done. And it's going to be a long fight. I'm just telling you it. It's going to be a long fight. This is my first time seeing a head of a government plotting a coup within his government. What the speaker is from the opposition, the speaker is part of the government. And this man has been working with you. You're talking from here, you carry him, and you decided to orchestrate some chaotic situation in his absence. And he knows very well, and he wants to be smart. We are not dumb. Who is the presiding officer of the House? It is the speaker. But he decided to say, and he think that there's some kind of children he tended he sent it to the clerk, and the clerk so is on whose order? Who authorized the clerk to send it to Deputy Speaker? All of this is the work of Joseph Boyka, a Unity Party people who wants to, and CDC power, they are another kind of people, very difficult to describe them because I don't know, no matter what it turns out to be, they will never get that speakership. These people, Unity Party people, are determined to loot the resources of that country. And this is why they want to control that other side so that anything that will come, the executive will have it their way. They are against the fact that Councillor Fanatic Kofa, for you to come here, that he did this. These are the same people, Koka and all of these people that voted against him. They didn't do their due diligence. They didn't know that he was providing consultancy as a lawyer, that now they get to know because the speaker calls for an audit, that yes, if we want to clean Liberia, it must start with aim. We must hold ourselves accountable. Is that a strange news that you are hearing tonight, Mr. Bacon? And should I re-echo that? And I can blow the trumpet if you want me to. But because of the behavior of these people, they do not want to be audited. They do not want to these reports that should be coming out, which is damaging. We are hearing the vice president the Nokwe, the Tomofala, and that's exactly what he did. While the speaker were in town, the same Tomofala again went and just by force, by chance, shoved something until the speaker of the country. All of that is getting him pissed. Joseph Boyka is aware of all that is going on. And I said it here day one, this whole thing was orchestrated by this old man. And this old man has demonstrated exactly what I said today, when he started. And that's what he did again today. In broad daylight, send something and act like he going for a visit, create a chaos within his own government, and he goes sit that in Sierra Leone, maybe to drink palm wine or whatever it is. That is just ridiculous. And that's not going to be the end of it, because what the first branch now, since they are babies, it is the judiciary going to interpret. The question would be, who is the speaker? Has the speaker been impeached or removed? No. If the speaker is not removed, the speaker is the one that is responsible per their rule and the constitution to preside over the budget, because they do not want this, because you know why they sent out budget back and the speaker sent it back because it was vague. So the old man is mad, he's upset. So he now skyrocket that budget and think fanatical fire not going to be there. So he and his nephew, Tom Fala, they will have their way and do whatever they want to do.
Thank you, Mr. So, Walter Carter, thank you for joining us. We're moving on to the next subject matter. But if you can give us 1 or 2 minutes of your time on this, and then we can move on to the next subject matter. I know you're just coming. So, what do you care to say on this here?
Thank you, and I would like to say hi to the great panelists here. I didn't see Dr. Toto in a while. The celebrity, the astute host, Mr. Soul, the greatest independent, and Jerry Boishan. Welcome. Well, so this is the thing here. I think I'll start listening to the show when you started. I think you were kind of, and I like to refer to him. Liberal stuff. I heard a liberal, with a frustrating tone as to what has happened in our country, and what the CEO just alluded to. I think it's something that is very bad for our democracy. I think it should be condemned. I think we have spoken about this precedent. Our Liberian people, they were fooled into believing that we have a president who is experienced, a man who has control, a man who knows everything. His integrity was intact. Only to find out the opposite. And we gotta live with it for 6 years.
You won't find out that.
You were speaking. Don't interrupt me, because I'll get on your skin.
Let him speak. Let him speak. But you, go ahead.
We have this, and it's so pathetic, because people came and lied to the Liberian people and told us about an individual that was the man of the hour, the man of the day, the man that could transform, the man that could rescue. And here we are today. The very same people coming by and saying, hey man, what did man I do? The amount of errors and errors and errors and errors. This is the catch about this whole budget thing. It will bounce right back in the president's face, because the budget has to be signed by 4 people, the speaker and the other people that I got to sign. The Constitution states that the speaker is the presiding officer. In the absence of the speaker, and which of course the Constitution would defend the speaker, I'm talking about J. Fanatic Kofa, he's not absent. He's present in the country. He goes to work at the Capitol building, so it means he's present. So once the speaker is present, there can be no presiding other than Fanatic Kofa. Who advised this president again? Because in the eyes of people that supported this man to power, they don't see nothing he did wrong, but only people around him. So I will use your own statement. who advised President Bouaka to send the budget to an acting clerk? And they don't say acting clerk, they say chief clerk. News flash, the chief clerk is not even in the country.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
who?
He's sick.
Yeah, he's sick. I think who sent this budget to the acting clerk and they run it as chief clerk? Who sent it? Who advised this president?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Walter Carter. We're going to move on to this next subject matter. And so today I came across Front Page Africa an article in Front Page Africa talking about that Liberia and Guinea almost went to war, they say. But the Guineans landed at the Rabat International Airport, well dressed in their military career, all with guns and everything. And they came to pick up and arrest Guineans who they believe to be Guinean/Liberian who they believe to be I call it a dissident. Jerry, let's start with you. Are you aware of this story?
I heard it.
Before Jerry come in, can you just elaborate more on that story? That story carry everything so we can get a clue.
Yes, it's on Front Page Africa. Hold on. Let me go on there.
Just put in the chat room, we'll be able to see it.
Okay. Liberia. Yeah. Okay. In fact, let me just go on here. Give me a minute. Let me bring it in here.
But was it the same guy
Yes.
to bring his living body by tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it should have been today.
Tomorrow, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, I thought, yeah.
Okay. Where's I know I saw it this morning, but now they're talking about issues in.
I mean, just give me some of it. That's okay. I don't want to.
Well, anyway, yeah, what I read today, but I don't even see it now. So maybe, but I know it was on Front Page Africa that Guineans landed at the Ralphie International Airport. Commodores, they call them, all dressed in uniform, in army uniform with guns, and they landed at the airport and was able to arrest the young man who they believe to be in they're accusing of trying to sabotage their government. So it was a very long article. So let me see if this is it. Okay. So if you guys have not seen it, okay, Terry's back. If you guys have not seen it, and I'm not too sure if we can try to postpone it and discuss it tomorrow. So I will encourage you guys, because it's very important that we all have a input on this. And if you guys have not been able to see it, I will encourage.
Why you are looking at Front Page?
Yeah, Front Page Africa.
Yeah, I'm reading something here. I don't know if that is.
No, they have another one here. AFL flattering presence in Lofa, aim fear over law rebel recruitment. That's not it. The one I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the one you were talking about earlier, as I was listening to you, that what I'm seeing here.
Oh, you see it?
Liberia and Guinea were inches away from war being built up
exactly.
to arrest extradition of alleged coup plotter.
That's it. I saw that this morning.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest, Terry, if you can put that link in the chat room, and tomorrow is another day for Jerry and myself, so we're not gonna have any renegade coming here to kind of control us. So Terry, just put it in the chat room.
By the way, who are the renegades?
You and Mr. So and what's his name? The PhD. So anyway, let me ask you guys now that okay, thank you, Terry. So please go in the chat room, guys, and read this on a very serious note, so we can have that discussion tomorrow. Because it's very dangerous, and it's a long article. They brought in a lot of example in the past from Tottenham time, you know. But let's go ahead and beat this Flandi Kofa, Speaker Kofa situation to death, unless you guys have something else you want to talk about. Let me start with you, Mr. So. You have something else you want to discuss, or you want to continue with the Flandi Kofa?
I am concerned the direction of my country, which this president, the folks you guys were dancing for here, singing, chanting. Now it's all stuck in you. You are embarrassed. You don't want to talk about it, so you try to grab things here and there for us to talk about, because this is not a kind of rescue. It's a strangulation. Now you people are drowning people instead of rescuing people.
So, Mr. So, you want to continue with Speaker Kofa?
Why you trying to censor him? Why you trying to censor him?
No, but you see, that's why I call you a renegade. I ask him one question, you're going on with the president. That's not the time.
No, you can't censor him.
What to cut? We have a rule. When there's,
but you just crossed the rule.
Bye. Okay. When the moderator who having to be the board chair, I said having to be. I'm not using my board chair position here tonight, but I'm using it as a moderator. When we're talking, we have to allow the conversation. So let me go back to Mr. So. There was a question asked. Do you want to continue with the process? We already started. You want to continue with it? And I'll go around the room.
I can continue with whatever I have on my plate and like exactly the route and the path I'm taking. So I don't know why you decided to interrupt me because...
Oh, no. But there was a question, yes or no, so that the rest of the panelists...
This is not a Shama Brown EOTV.
Okay, you did that, yes. So, Mr. Okay, thank you, Mr. So.
So let me
Mr. So, we will come back to you. This is a new day. This is a new time. The liberal is in. Let me come to you, Terry. Do you want to continue with this conversation with Speaker Kofa? Because we're postponing our other conversation right now. You're muted. Thank you. That means yes.
If that's a conversation on the table so far, we can wrap it up.
All right. Terry, the independent mind, Terry has spoken. So let's continue with. I don't need to ask the rest of the people. Let's continue. Mr. So, go ahead. Make your point.
All right, I'll make my point.
Well, you're not vexed? You're not vexed?
I don't have to get vexed because getting vexed will not solve the problem. We just got to tell you the truth, which of course you don't want to hear. Just a boycott.
I want to get you vexed. You say, I don't want to.
Party, what people have done is EBS, by the way, they're kicking out already, and I said that here before.
Who they kick
this
out?
President Joseph Boyka has turned the state broadcasting corporations as the mouthpiece of unity. You know, but for me, it's not a surprise. And this is what some of us frown on, and we were talking, and the liberal progressive and his extremist group on this network, one of the guy called himself co-host. This is a sort of soundbite where media pushing every day. Complete chaos. It's just unbelievable. This old man, who has worked in government for so long, close to the proximity of the presidency, vice president for 12 years. for God's sake, and see that he is not in charge of this vessel now and is breaking down people things, causing trouble. And he said he going to Sierra Leone for whatever reason. I think that his route anyway. Maybe he visiting his grandparents or whatever it is.
So,
But I'm saying,
wow.
I am saying,
Are you now going to be questioning the immigration status of the president of the Republic
I
of
don't have
Liberia?
a question. I'm just telling you who I must say. I get a foreign background. The president doesn't have a how do call it, a Sierra background. Is that a new thing? Of course, it's not. But I'm saying what this president has done. I've never seen this in the history of our country. Not even the military days of Samuel Doe, Charles Taylor, in fact, who was one of the Goliaths. But this old man has. He has created what I term to be potential constitutional crisis. And I'm telling you, fanatic Kofa and those people, they're going to take it on. Don't be surprised and see things start happening in a way that you do not expect to see it happening. It's only because of the creation of this old man inability. And I'm convinced from this one that he is not in charge. Someone is pressing those buttons behind him, turn left, turn right, move forward, come behind, and he just there as a ceremonial president. And this is why our country is going down.
Wow.
So,
Dr. Toto, please come in.
Yeah. But let me come in. I disagree with also been in front. And for would not sit and allow him to personalize the president in the discussion the way in which you want to drag the discussion. When it comes to the issue of the submission of the budget, the president had error. And he submitted to the raffle to the raffle path. And that's why I said earlier on, we'll be so glad for the COFA group to go back to the Supreme Court, that they could really interpret the Constitution. Kweka has been government for long. Don't talk about that. He's been government for long, and he has functioned in the executive branch for so long. He understands how does it work. And I believe the president has a legal expert, people he consulted. He didn't just jump and say, "Oh, we'll submit a budget to this group," and also he consulted his legal team, and they gave him the best advice. And to me, you were not in error for that. But whether the president was wrong or right, and this is actually have been going on. For me, for where I see, I'm in support of Kofa for initial stage. But the way it is going, I think he losing his grip on the thing here. If I were him, I would just resign and let it just resign and let it let the project go like Repo will go on. Because he loses his grip on the thing here. That's
so, Dr. Toto, let me push you on this. You as an educator, you as a highly educated person who believe in the Constitution, you've been around ULA for a very long time, and everything you guys preach from one thing to another, so make sure that people have the right to express themselves freely. You know the Constitution. Do you want Speaker Kofa to give in to the majority black without going through the due process, and he must resign? Is that what you're saying here?
Labor, let me just state what I said again. I said that we support Kofa in this junction, and we will left for him to go back to the court and let the court interpret the Constitution on his role in the host of here. And let the court give her some ruling, or the court gave her their opinion on the whole issue. They don't know where to go. But other than that, the speaker right now is losing his grip on it. If you want to go to the court, that is. Other people went through the same thing. If they wanted to fight on, or Eric Starter was there also too. If you wanted to fight on, you could have fight on. Nobody have for the down to remove Kofa. Even Edwin Snow, nobody have for the down to remove Snow. But the local They look ahead. Where they think going to land there, and they end up resigning. And they were calling on Kofa to follow the same trend also if need be.
So okay, thank you, Dad. Jerry, let me come to you now. So when does this thing stop?
Can you borrow me 30 seconds, please?
You got 1 minute.
So, Dr. George Toto from Pittsburgh, they tell you to resign here. You like you went to court. You are doing your work for peace. Say you're not resigned. Look, we don't need people who are unable to manage country. They should not because two group of people. You yourself is saying it. Eh? Please, why you didn't resign here? And you're going to court. What was the principles? What were you guys were following? And we just have people, and you say here, you alluded here, you saying here, what required this man to resign is 49. And I'm glad that he repeated that. He said, when you get up 49 today, I will pack all my things and go. So you people, you want us to have a crisis country where any group of people and get and put themselves together, say, I don't call them, where you come from with this majority black business here? And you can't tell us here that he losing grade, buying into terrorist red meat soundbite? Oh, please.
Thank you. Let me come to you, Jerry. Thank you, Mr. So let me come to Dr. Tutu Fairness. You want to respond to that before I go to Jerry? Or
No, that go to Jerry.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Jerry, let me come to you. When the question that I have for you is, when do we stop? When do we stop this political pressure on the speaker, and the speaker is forced to resign politically now, not by legal means, but because we say we don't want to sit on the speaker gavel, and the fact that we have 43, we're calling ourselves a majority black, and therefore the speaker will be resigning. When do we stop and apply the Constitution?
Let's look at the Constitution first. But let's forget about let's put the Constitution aside for now, and let's take another approach. The approach would be there will be a lot of pressure from the citizen when they start hearing from the constituent. What is the constituent going to say? And these are the things that are going to put the pressure on the president, that's going to put pressure on the speaker, that also going to put pressure on the judiciary for them to expedite any case that will come before them. That's where we'll have to be careful, very, 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 very careful right now, because there will be pressure put on these three institutions, and that's where we're going. That's where we're going to stop, because here's the thing. Once the citizen are not certified that what is going on, they will start calling the radio station, and maybe people will start calling our station, and people will start calling the legislature, people will start calling the people in Chima, and there was the pressure will come, and there they will find means for them to come up with a resolution. But you know what? Let me talk to Mr. Soul. That is so ridiculous for you to come on a show. You are all people telling conspiracy theory that the president deliberately took the speaker, carrying to the Vatican for him to overthrow the speaker. What? Show me one proof. Show me why you always do this. Then you come here again, talk about the VP and Stonefalla and what's the name? Nokwe receive money. They are the people who sponsor anything. Where do you get the information from? If you get the information, display it, brother. To come here and screw people's mind, their heart, and everything. We're already in crisis, then you add more crisis to our crisis. What's going on? Who are you? Where you stay? Where you get all the theory from? That's ridiculous for the president knowing the photo where to take somebody from here and carry into the Vatican, go and meet the father, the Pope. They say he went there with a mindset that so they can overthrow or the speaker. And the president is a coward. He can stay in Monrovia. He want to do what he want to do. He's the president of the Republic, for Christ's sake. And I know Mr. Boakai not going to do it because he's not that type of president. He will not even kill or fly anyway. So they established it.
Man, I
Yeah.
can't count to go fly.
In conclusion, let me say this. There's something going on, which of course we don't talk about today. I saw it on one of the in fact on our network, Labrador Public Radio. We have to train our police officers again. For Christ's sake. If you watch a video today, the police officer beating the demonstrator, put her in the car, whipping that individual. That's not what we are trained for. We have to exercise restraint, even though somebody provoke you, but you can't. That's not what we are trained for. We need to train our police officers. They need to go for in-service training. I mean, it's ridiculous. People watching it around the world. Beating that young man, putting him in the car, and beating him. That it's not called for. We need to address the issues. People are demonstrating fine. That's it, right? But you not have to do this thing as a police officer. You are trained to be maintained courageous in the face of danger. That's the first thing you enter on the police academy to tell you as a law enforcement officer, to protect life and property, to maintain courageous in the face of danger. That's it. I mean, my stomach was boiling. And this day, anything you do, you on the screen. People watching you from all over the world. I mean, sure, bad repetition. I'm not saying it's not happening in the United States, but we have to be very careful how our police officers do this thing. Thank you. I think we can address it. I think that's another talk point.
Thank you. Walter Cutter.
Yeah.
So, folks, Walter, just a minute. Folks, Samson to Labrador Public Radio, the number is out there. 916-533-2048. Give us a call. Okay, let me take. Oh, Jesus. From Western, ridiculous. Hi, number 9. Good evening. Good evening. Hi, number 9. How you doing, Mr. Toe? Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I tell you, the night is. Go ahead.
This is the only thing you must agree on.
What?
Your side with Nati Kofa, supporting the law. Anyways, let me go to Terry and Mr. Barker. Look, when the budget is sent to the legislators, it is discussed by committees. Okay? Now the first thing you got to do. So the president can send the budget to the majority black. He even take it with him to Freetown. The committee is going to discuss this budget. When they make their decision, then everything will come to the speaker before the speaker sign it to send it back to the president.
No.
You guys got to remember that all these people that separated on the majority, some people are the majority black, some people are behind the current speaker. They are all on those committees that will discuss the budget. Every part of the budget, they are all on those committees. You understand? So, how you think the budget going to pass? How you think the budget going to pass that went in from the majority black? That's why I need you and Terry to tell me, Mr. Bacon.
But let me ask you this question before you go. Yeah, let me ask you. When was the last time budgetary legislation action was discussed on IE field? That now you all know your lawyer there. When you are playing for IE, you used to be lawyer. Thank you.
Can I respond? Can I respond?
Go ahead. He's listening to you. Go ahead.
He's dead wrong. The budget is sent to the speaker or the presiding officer when they receive, then before you go to committee, and from committee before they go back to the president. So they just go straight to the committee. No,
Mr.
So,
I'll never Mr. Kofa is not a speaker. I never said that Mr. Kofa is still a speaker. But what I'm saying here is the budget was sent to the presiding officer and from the presiding officer. And
thank you.
Before you go to the committee, the presiding officer will disburse the budget, the various committee. And after that, when it be consolidated, they come back to the speaker, and the speaker before it come to the full body, from the full body, before it go back to the president, or before it go to the Senate. So that's what
Aaron,
it
you
is.
get the one part. We're not taking your call again. Let me go to what the color you sleeping?
I'm watching. I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening to y'all. Waiting for my
What
time.
what we say? What we say?
I'm just listening to the tabata
What we
around
say?
here.
What we say?
So that's the thing. That's the thing.
You were sleeping.
No, I'm really listening. When you see my, I'm just listening. I don't sleep.
Okay.
So the
Hold
conversation.
on. Let me make it brief with Aaron, please. Oh, he gone. Okay.
So the conversation is very interesting. Yeah, and I listened to my
But
brother.
make it brief because they called Terry Nee. I want Terry to respond.
No. Terry will wait for his time. Let me get my own 2 3 minutes. Terry will wait.
You
So
don't have 3 minutes on the show.
I listened to my
Jesus.
brother Toto, and I agree with him.
Walter Carter, can you hold on 1 minute? Let me bring it because the number is up there. Please bear with me, guys. Lion, good evening. What you got to say?
Yeah, thanks for taking the call. Really, thanks for taking the call.
Okay.
I'm so frustrated. I'm scared to say Lion is calling from Pago.
We know. What are you frustrated about?
I'm very frustrated. What's really on my mind is that.
Can you hold on? Can you hold on a minute? Let me merge this caller, please. Just hold on. All right, Teddy, go ahead. Aaron will come to you. Teddy, go ahead.
I'm very frustrated that Joseph Boga needs to be impeached now. Seriously, no time for the joking. Joking for the whole matter.
What would be your reason for impeachment now? What would be the stuff? What would be your reason?
President Boga is to bring problems to Liberia. He's trying to pull Liberia to war with Guinea. I was so freaking I've been violated. It's not time to be fighting for Boga on the wrong reason. For God's sake.
Okay, Teddy, hold on your point. We'll discuss that tomorrow. Then you can come in. At least then your point will be.
Let the question rest to you can't be this is genius. Because this is what we're supposed to be talking. I as an individual, if I were the commander in chief, I would have declared war on Guinea. But I cannot do that because what Boga is saying is the water in Kohoot. I can't put on this prisoner for in Liberia, then laying Liberia took prisoner from there because Boga our own authorities in Kohoot with that. This government is bringing trouble to Liberia. This is time to go to rise up and impeach Boga out of office.
All right.
There will be more destruction of Liberia. I'm so angry. Any state running was a piece so broken today.
Thank you.
Honestly, I was so busy I've been violated.
Thank you. You're angry, but you're angry, but you are working. So you pay your bill. You're not angry with. All right, thank you. Let me go to Ira. Thank you. Ira, make it brief, please. Go ahead, Ira.
Yeah. Real quick, I just wanted to respond to Mr. Bacon. Mr. Bacon, I mean, what you disagree with? You must have saying the same thing. The budget is sent to the presiding, and every committee going to discuss the budget. We're saying the same thing.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to clarify.
Okay. Thank you. Walter Carter, go ahead, guys. Let me take the number down. When I take any more call.
So
Walter
thank you.
Carter, go ahead. You got 2 minutes, please.
Thank you very much. So I listened to my brother Toto.
And in fact, that will be your wrapping now as well.
I listened to my brother Toto. Wow. You know, what you gonna do when you were a liberal? That's it. So I listened to my brother Toto, and he said something that about the president. President is smart. He made a smart choice. He's a knowledgeable person. He has the experience, and the people around him gave the right advice. And or they've been giving him, the right advice to execute his agenda. One of those advice will be the coming out to read about $25 million scholarship. It was a good advice that he gave him, a good policy statement that he made for the scholarship. 250 students will come to America. They will work here. They will go to school, get a master, and they will get a job in America. That was a good advice, according to Toto. Looking at a very smart, intelligent, well-experienced president, making a kind pronouncement. And a good advice president again would be a president who wrote the Senate and told the Senate that one of his good friend, offer him almost 200 and some more yellow machine, and come to find out he was blaming Mama Ability and the whole 9 years. A good advice from a president who gave $22 million to rehabilitate roads that in the first 100 days there will be no car stuck in the road. Boom. We see mud all over the place. Good advice.
I would discuss the issue
and
tonight.
a very smart president. You were talking, brother Toto. Brother Toto, you were talking. Doctor.
Walter Carter, you got 30 seconds.
No. Is that how you can count?
I know Carter, you got 30 seconds.
No,
I don't know how
engineer.
to count.
No. You see, brother, so
Walter Carter, you got 20 seconds.
You see?
You're eating into your own time.
You see? So let me just drop the bombshell.
I see him man laughing.
Let me just drop the bombshell.
It's good.
He enjoys it.
You
I'm not talking.
Mr. So, you are violating the rules. Go ahead, Walter, please.
You have an inept president. This president has no knowledge of what he's doing. The president is absolutely clueless when it comes to governance in our country. For the 12 years he spent under Ellen Johnson's salute, he learned nothing. For the 42 years you people push on the Liberian people about his experience, his integrity, they were all bogus. Today, we have seen the true Joseph Boakai. And unfortunately, you people cannot live with the shame. You guys have to come and defend it in the most shameless way possible. And that's the thing that hurt me, because I see a liberal who is so intelligent, who is so well-mannered, who has all the discipline when it comes to engineering. I see a Jerry Washington Bacon, who is, when it says security-minded, will support an inept person.
You're running your stay. You're out. Good night. Thank you. Let me go to Dr. Toto. Dr. Toto, Walter, at the end there, you were talking a lot of time, but he stressed some point that I thought perhaps you can help us to address if you care to.
Let me give my time to Terry.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We'll come back to you for your closing.
Yeah, look, that will be the last.
Terry, go ahead. Go ahead. Give your closing, guys. We gotta go. Terry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I listened to a lot of things. Thank you, Dr. Toto, because
but Terry,
I understand
I gave you
it is what
Terry,
it is.
Terry, I gave you extra 1 minute to respond to the phone call earlier.
Oh yeah. So the problem is, once the people have a quorum, the people have a presiding officer. Now, I'm looking at something here in 2024, August 16. The Ministry of Finance submit draft recast budget to the National Legislature. And in this presentation, you can see the picture of Fonati Kofa, the honorable man, all right, with the Deputy Finance Minister as they present the budget. In this other budget, it was not so. The budget went to the clerk, the chief clerk office, and because the chief clerk is not there, the deputy clerk received the budget. So obviously the budget go that way. And somebody was quoting something in the legislative rule that when the house is in crisis, the chief clerk carry on the functions of the house. So like what Dr. Toto said, I want to agree with him, that the best option for the speaker is to resign. But again, I know everybody want to hear that in the panel, but this is the thing. If the people have a presiding officer, right, they are listening to people, myself, I inquire, if the people have a presiding officer, it is just obvious that they are going to call the Ways and Means, because the Ways and Means are responsible to discuss the budget and then put it on the floor. They the one who present it to the presiding put it on the floor. So, but it have to be discussed by the Ways and Means first. So they're going to cite the Ways and Means, Mervyn Cole and other people. If the Ways and Means refuse to come, they will definitely suspend them, and they're going to vote and elect their own person.
What power they have to suspend?
The quorum.
Please, you violated the rule.
People have quorum.
The law says the majority, once the majority can have a quorum, the majority can do business. And that is why we're listening to Akara's Great today, talking Tabata on the radio, a man who removed Tyler. He admitted that they removed Tyler, and he almost admitted that they did it illegally. But these were the precedent that was set that this generation is following likewise. They went to the city, they sat, they called Tyler King. Tyler said he's not going to listen to them. And they removed for honor Tyler and went and formed their own quorum because they felt that they were in majority and Tyler could not have a say. That was how Tyler struggled to come to find a quorum until he finally resigned. This is the man that is now defending Honorable Kofa and say Honorable Kofa is doing the right thing. You see the kind of thing we're having. So the thing here is that how did they run the country during that time as compared to now? Is it different from what they did before than now? So you expected the president right now, and if you listen to Geraldine Pierre is advocating that the legislature discuss the budget within the short period of time so that by January in 2025, distribution, the budget can start to be spent. So I can tell you right now that before the end of December, this budget will be passed. And let's see what Honorable Kofa will do.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Dr. Toto.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm not going to go back to respond to what he made, but we can look at the big picture. Again, we said initially our support are there for Funati Kofa on the whole budget saga. But for the way things looking, I think to save the state and to have some decency in the House, the best option for the Speaker is to resign.
Our Constitution.
is for the Speaker to resign. If or he want to go back to the court, which would be one of the best options, then the Supreme Court should not declare to take the matter, but to give an opinion and ruling on the issue and that put the case to close. And I don't think President Burger will error to submit the budget to the clerk or the deputy clerk. That's the procedure that been set forth, and that's why he followed, and he was advised by a legal team.
Thank you. Mr. So, closing.
Why you can't start with
No. He closed the book. He closed the book.
What?
He's the one that's going to close the book tonight.
Who?
Mr. So, make us closing. Don't worry about how we start our show.
Well,
right.
you see what Dr. Toto has joined this group. I think they are trying to form their own blog here, but that blog, it will be dismantled. So that's why he came on tonight. He came to speak the truth. I saw Jerry saying he attacked Terry, the liberal acting like he for Kofa have and for Joseph Boykai, Ainge, and all of that. By the time the gang on him, he went back in his chair. Folks, this is the challenge that we have. We have this kind of moderator who is selective to hear other analyst voices, so how to scramble over one of the independents, Keto, who tried to speak to the Liberian people. They cut him off. Jared is laughing, smiling, it's all well. And that's the kind of country we have under them as a rescuer. This is what they are illustrating. This is what we're seeing here. And this is what their people listen to. So they enjoy doing that. But I can for sure tell you, Liberal, this is not the end of it. You're going to go to the highest court of the land, and there'll be a simple question. What is the number to require us to remove the speaker? Who has that number? And I think Fanatic Kofa, those lawmakers that are supporting him, they believes in the rule of law, establishment of institution. And so now Dr. Toto quickly in 30 seconds came into Terry Because Terry has been pushing the soundbite from day one here. The best thing, government resign. In the next evening, you can government need to resign. You got to talk the money now. Look, that's not just all about it. We are talking about to preserve our institution. And Kofa spoke to the Liberian people today. That message went well, fell on fertile soil. He is not going anywhere. And some of these Senate representatives, they themselves will start feeling the heat. Liberal, thank you for being so biased in your presentation here tonight. You don't want Keto and myself to talk. So your friendship with Dr. Toto came in. You're the same progressive wing, the leftover UP, LPP, Liberty Party.
Walter Carter.
Liberty Party reject that other you're going back home to your Unity Party. That is okay, but we're here. Thank you.
Thank you. Jerry, take us home, please.
They feel progressive.
Walter Carter, please. Jerry, take us home, please.
You know, when the CEO come here to fabricate stories about Mr. Boakai, Excellency, that took willingly took the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia.
Mr. Barker, can I excuse you for 1 second?
Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, because what I'm going to tell you, it's going to help you that what
let's go take your medicine. Go take the Tylenol. Good night. Go ahead, Jerry. Wrap us up, please. Thank you.
What Fifth Man said, the conspiracy theory that deliberately the Excellency Mr. Barker told the Speaker. But anyway, that's about it. You know, my brother left, but he know what I'm going to do to him. So that's why he left. 45 days, George Mana Weah out of the country, go watch football game. 45 days out of the country. Buckeye going out of the country to bring money into the country.
Where? 25 million?
Mr. So, the man is closing, please.
Please.
Go ahead,
45 days.
Jerry.
Day one, 9th Street, break all the houses down, building new houses. Break all the houses down. Day one. Day one, new jet as you are swearing in to SKD Stadium, brought in a new jet. RIA in the darkness. 2-3 days, plane can land in Liberia. Okay? Selling passport under his administration. So these are the records. They are there. They are public records. And you can dispute it. Then you want to come here and tell Boakai, Excellency Boakai. And you want to compare his record with that of George Manawia? That's ludicrous. But you know what? Anyway, he's a sedition. So what do you expect out of him? That's what it is. But honor all, Mr. Boakai, the rescue train is moving. If you can't make it, you might not like the way it goes. That's what it is. The man is proceeding with cautious. He might be but he will get it done. It will be done. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. So, thank you. Terry, thank you. Dr. Toto, we'll finish. The show over. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry, for taking us home tonight.
Thank you.
We'll
see you tomorrow.
You did a brilliant. Yeah, we'll be back here. But I will ask all of us to go ahead and read what Terry posted in the chat room.
Yeah, definitely we will. I will.
To read that, and then we can come back tomorrow to have a wonderful show.
See you. I'll be going to Ghana, so make sure you get my pass.
Yeah, but Jerry, before you leave, can you go ahead and give us the legit little bit of information on that again, please?
Oh, okay. I think I've said it before, but I don't want to sound redundant. But
that's okay. Now you're sure.
Wow, this is unbelievable.
Well,
right, Jerry.
I was able to get a award from the how you call it, Africa Criminal Justice System. They allowed for the article that I wrote, Fear of Crime in Africa and Liberia. And so I've been invited to go to speak on it, be one of the panelists in Ghana on I think either the 4th or the 5th, to be part of the discussion. So I'm delighted. So Mr. CEO, I'm willing to at least to send me I leave pocket change.
Well, congratulations when it comes to that. So right now he's talking.
I put in the chat room. It is there. We can look at it. So
yeah.
You're not carrying Dr. Mali with you?
I disabled my my WhatsApp. Can you put it in the? Can you put it in the?
You're not carrying Dr. Mali with you?
Sure, you'll be part of it.
Put it in the messenger chat too. But again, the congratulations. Is that in the WhatsApp group you put it in?
Yeah. So WhatsApp.
Yeah,
I put in the WhatsApp. I'll send it to you personally.
Yeah, my WhatsApp is off. That's why I didn't.
Oh,
when it's there, then long time and share you.
Well, bring the your CEO. Bring the WhatsApp back quick so you can see what we know all the information we have on up here. We've been putting it in there, and your CEO, you know what we're talking about. Bring that WhatsApp back quick.
But anyway, look, all seriousness, thank you so much for giving me the platform. I mean, I'm very happy to be among the best out of the best. I mean, we will have some disagreement or what. I mean, that's what we're here for. Yeah. So thank you so much for supporting me.
I will connect with you. I think I have one or two friends there. We need to see whether we can spotlight that in Accra, even if it could require me to go there. I will go. Another they broke. They broke both chair. You see how a friend stand on to do when you're ready. Get in there with Umpa. Oh, you want the money to get at $50.
I'm not an electable. I'm not an electable.
Oh.
All right, guys. God willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Be nice.
Yeah, I think
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you too for coming there for a while.
All right, Jerry. Again, folks, Samson told I want to thank all of you again tonight for being with us. We thank you, all of you that have been writing tonight. Josh, Maestro, thank you guys very much. Clarence, you guys have been doing a wonderful job keeping us on our toes. We appreciate it. Julia, thank you very much, guys. I mean, it's wonderful to see all of these writing here. Thank you, Sissy. We miss you. Hopefully you'll be able to join with us tomorrow as well. And Sissy, if you're going to be doing that, please go in the chat room and read that stuff Terry put in there tonight. Again, folks, Samson to Labrador Public Radio. I will say thank you very much. We'll be back here again tomorrow night. And good night to all of you. Good night, folks.